Hello, my cosmos. We're going to be reviewing Chasing Reality Los Angeles, Season 2, Episode 3. We don't really follow the Atlanta franchise. I guess I have to get into it. But Chasing Reality LA, oh, she loves them. And we're about to get into it. We had a few characters that didn't return, like Vaughn. Miss Alicia Love didn't come back, and I loved her. I loved me some Alicia Love, but she didn't come back. I still follow her on Instagram. But the new girl, I like her. Nicole Ray. Why is she so cute? I mean, no shade, but Nicole Ray looks better than some cis women. I hate to say it, but she does. She looks better than my neighbor. Okay? Yeah, you probably would take my neighbor for being a guy over her. Craziness. I don't know. Everything's wild. She is too pretty. Too pretty. Gorgeous. Well, you know what that tells a lot of individuals? Work on your upkeep. You know what I mean? Like, the girls are out here looking better than the girls. The girls are out here looking better than the girls. Come on now. Upkeep is everything. But what I like about... Okay, so Nicole Ray is very shady. And for this particular episode... Because, see, I'm not really a person to give recaps. I give rundowns and highlights. Or at least things that was highlighted for me. And what I like about Nicole Ray is her energy. She's funny. She makes me laugh. And she just reminds me of people I used to hang out with in high school. So I like her. She's entertaining. And I think she's good for the show. And I love that. It looks like she's being neutral. Even though she, was brought in by Hershey, got to know Andre first. Even though Fly King Eye is Andre's boy, she's willing to speak her mind no matter if that's your friend or not. So I like that about her. So we shall see, right? And the thing is, I like her. She is funny. That scene, the scene with Rich Baum, when they were all at the brunch. What were they at? In Palm Springs or San Diego or something? Or San Francisco or somewhere. Lord, when they were at that brunch and Fly King Eye walked in. And her and Rich Baum had already been talking about Fly King Eye. So, now that, I love Rich Baum's energy just for that one moment. That's probably the only point so far which I've actually liked him. But when he stood up and they matched each other energy and gave each other that, well, looky. That was the funniest thing to me for this whole episode. Nicole Ray looks like she's going to be comedic relief. And we could use that because I don't think they had any. Well, King Payne was comedic relief also last year. He was comedic relief, but it looks like he's going to be cast into more of a villain role this year. So I think Nicole Ray's probably going to be the comedy or the comedic relief when it was King Payne last year. So let's talk about Hershey LaCoa. So we see Hershey's been grinding, and Hershey has elevated from doing the drag shows and voguing in the dirt out in open parks during the pandemic. She has definitely elevated now. So being on the show has been a benefit to her. Knowing Jeremy has been a benefit to her. So we see her grinding and learning. You know what I'm saying? Definitely elevating. But this is what struck me with Hershey. Why did Jeremy have to learn about you being casted in Todrick Hall's It's Raining Fellas video for the song? Why did he have to learn the night of the event? He said he was sleeping, catching some Z's next to Todrick's dressing room, and he saw Hershey walk by. He had to do a double take and was like, is that Hershey? Wait a minute. Hershey knows of Todrick personally because of Jeremy. Jeremy put her on. Jeremy introduced Hershey to Todrick. So if you actually get casted in a Todrick production, the first one who should know should be Jeremy. Even if it's a quick text, don't have to be a talk with in case Todrick's giving you a whole bunch of work. I guess, I guess it's not, if it's a lot of work, it's not worthy of tons of phone calls. But dang, just a text. Just say, oh, girl, guess what? I landed another one. Thanks for the hookup. Something. See, that's how people be. And to be honest, I know everyone's saying, that Hershey's a fan favorite. Me personally, I see something past Hershey. I see fake and phony in Hershey, and maybe it'll surface later, but I see a few layers of the onion is being peeled away this season, and we're seeing Hershey turn up some, right? You didn't know that was in there. So maybe we need to wait and see what all Hershey has tucked away, no pun intended, but tucked away in there. And the reason why I say this, I look at Hershey's mannerisms, I know what fake and phony is. I know it is, from your laugh to everything. I know how to pick it up. Hell, I've done it. I know how to realize that, and I peep it. I definitely peep that with Hershey. Definitely do. So the other person I wanted to talk about is, Poetic. Poetic is fine as wine. It's nothing. Everyone wants him, apparently. Jeremy was kind of turned on by him. It looks like Jayla's going to have a kiss and a moment with Jeremy as well. I'm sorry, Poetic. So you got Jeremy, Jayla. When Nicole first saw him, she was like, ooh, So I'm like, ooh, can you help him though? That man is just butterlicious. Just a perfect specimen walking around. God chiseled him personally. Beautiful. Body, face, everything. Just very, very well put together, feature and body-wise. And everyone else notices it as well. Even that big old man from episode 1. Is that Poetic's sugar daddy from episode 1? I'm talking about the man he lived with. He apparently creates a stable environment with good frequency, a big home, big yard where he can write and just get a chance to break away from, crazy things in his household, and can be creative because the environment's so stable, serene, and peaceful. Remember that man from episode 1? Who is that man? Is that Poetic sugar daddy? I'm just wondering. I would love to know more about the dynamics behind their relationship. It's probably in my business, but I'm nosy. So, okay, whatever. I'm nosy, and you are too. Is Poetic someone who this man has an actual wife, and Poetic is the sugar baby living there, but posing as a renter? What's going on? I'm intrigued, and I want to know. And then that Poetic, because that man, look, he gives me sugar daddy energy, and Poetic being the sugar baby. He got this big old nice property for him to live in. And what room is Poetic renting? Is it the left side of the master bedroom bed? No, okay, let me get off that. Who behind them designer threads that Poetic's always in? That's what I'm saying. He give me sugar baby energy in designer, laced. You just stay in the house, look pretty, come through in the Fendi and Dolce, Balenciaga. He stayed in a nice little designer. Now, I don't know if they real now. He could be fronting like the folks in Atlanta. That was broken down to me very well about what's going on in Atlanta and parts of LA and a certain area of Miami as well. Everybody want to be in designer. Yeah, it's design all right. Is it real or is it fake? It look good on him though. The man could wear anything. But who's buying all this? Because what does Poetic do to be able to afford that much designer to be on that beautiful body of his? Who's buying that if it is real? He giving me almost being the Marlo of the show. Have you all noticed? Poetic is in designer every scene. Child, I told you, Poetic, I'm intrigued and I want to know more about him. So the next one, Mr. Andre. I noticed that Andre is building a squad. What he's done now is he's trying to get the new people on his team before anyone else can get a hold of them and get their claws in them. Andre is doing that. He's trying to be impressionable. Get your claws in the new people, and then they're on your team, and you got more soldiers. So Rich Bomb, he didn't really connect with King Pain. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. But it's pretty much been the Andre show. Is it just me? I mean, 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, it's been the Andre show, from talking about his news appearance with the Guys in Heels event, hosting last week, and styling Diamond from Crime Mob. So every week it's the Andre show. We need to change this up because it's a whole bunch of characters. We want to see everybody chase. I really want to learn more about Pretty and Paid. Pretty and Paid. I like it. And we got big booties in LA. Out west, we got big booties. I think I like him. Andre hasn't had a chance to get his hands or his claws in him. So I'm anxious to see where that's gonna go. But look, Andre has won over Nicole Ray. Andre has won over Rich Bomb. That's 2 people out of 3. No, wait a minute. No, it's 4. He won over Poetic. Poetic's on his team as well. So the only other person he needs to try to grab a hold of is the white dude. Now, the other person I want to speak about is Rich Bomb. It looks like he's going to be aggravating, okay? He's doing too much, gives us too much. Calm down. You can build up to that, but you came out with all of that? That, like, people don't like all of that too much in the beginning like that. That's why Drew Sidora over on Real Housewives of Atlanta, people had to warm up to her because she came out doing too much, too quick. And she did the same thing this season. Let us warm up to you. Who are you? Brand new person with all that? Too much. And the crazy thing is, Rich Bomb, I think he would have been a great ally for King Pain. I could have seen them too, because they're both rappers. They both dreaded up. I could have seen those 2 being allies. And those 2 as allies, oh man, they would have took the girls to a car wash, honey. They would have went through the ringer. But unfortunately, he's not an ally for King Pain. It would have been a great one. King Pain is the villain this year. And it seems like he's standing alone, because even though there was 4 people who bought that LLC, Andre is just focusing on King Pain, because he paid the most, and everyone else, according to him, paid $20, and King Pain paid the bulk, over $700, close to $800 to secure it. That is really expensive. LLCs are really expensive in freaking California. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm excited. I can't wait for episode 4 tonight. I'm going to be in the chat acting a fool. Hopefully I will see you there. Talk to you later.